Welcome back to Families in Action right here on KHTS AM 1220, your hometown station. And just before the break, Cary was singing that song so well. One of these days, we're going to have to open up a microphone. We're going to catch a solo from Cary.
You might have to, right?
Hey, we got some folks that want think about calling in. Now. We want to give the phone number here, right?
We do.
You need to call in. Don't be nervous. We're
You know what, guys? I've gotten 15 different text messages and emails, and Facebook's exploding, and people are just afraid to call in.
Oh,
so I challenge you, call in.
We're nice guys. And
we are nice.
Nice. She's a therapist.
She
if
might
you've got
be,
a problem,
she might be a little scary, but she's nice.
Oh, here, let's give him the phone number. We're talking 661. Write this down. 298-5487. One more time for the slow folks. 661-298-5487. Give us a call.
You didn't just call people slow, did you?
No. I was talking about those other people.
You don't have to get to the pen.
She keeps wanting to challenge me. I'm still telling you.
That's my job,
it's
Mike.
Dilyse
It's to
Diaz.
challenge. Yeah. He said it again.
She's mad at me.
Diaz. I'm just messing with you.
For those of you that aren't watching this right now, she hit me. Is this how a therapist acts? I ask you.
You know what, Michael is on television, so you all be able to watch that. But you know what? We were talking about the 16, and we were only on number 1. I want to hear a little bit more.
Right. And here's what it is. I want to challenge everybody listening. If you're listening out there, you go to dailydelyse.com and you look up 16 and 16.
Right.
What that is 16 things that you will accomplish, that you will do differently in 2016. Okay, that's something people say, 16, that's a lot. Well, guess what? Sometimes you might want to just write something like, listen more, talk less.
Right. And those are goals, not resolutions.
Absolutely.
Right?
Resolutions are fleeting. Everybody's done by the end of, day 6 of week 1, right?
Right.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about life differences and, changing habits, like I said. So what I want you first to do is listen to the video about how to do 16 and 16.
Which is on your website.
It is. And make your own list. Basically, it's 16 things you will accomplish in 2016. And write those things down, okay? They could be simple, such as, like I was saying, listen more, talk less. And then write down what exactly you want to change. 16 things. You can do it. And that I can help you with how to do it. Like I said, they're going to be highlighted every week on my website, something different.
That's really awesome. I know I find myself watching your stuff, and it's a lot of inspiration.
Thank you.
And I think that's super important. So it's sure when I wake up and I flip onto something like that, it just kind of brightens my day.
Thank you. And I really want to offer real tools, not the fluff like, hey, feel better. People are like, well, I don't. So what do I do?
Right.
And so what I try to, put out there every single day is how to do it.
Right.
Okay.
So you give them a little bit of an action plan along with it. So but you hit us with a couple more. And I know we have callers, and callers don't go anywhere. Hang on. Let's hear a little bit more from Dilyse, and then we'll get to you.
All right. Well, we were talking about self-care earlier, and week 2 was suck on your own oxygen mask, which means, how people say, take care of you if the plane's going down. Well, that's how it is in life. Sucking on your own oxygen mask means doing things to take better care of yourself. So one of those tips would be say no more often. Okay. Right. If you say no more often and set boundaries, you have more room and energy in your life for the things that you really do need to be saying yes to.
And think about it for a second. How many times do your kids or your husband or your wife or your friends or your family ask you to do things you don't want to do?
Right.
And you feel overwhelmed, but you don't say anything. You do it.
And then you get resentful.
And then
the relationship worsens.
And you all of a sudden find yourself in big trouble. Learn how to take care of yourself.
Right.
So that you can be there for everybody else.
Right. You know what I like to do is I like to say, I'm going to say no to this because I want to have enough time and energy to do X, Y, and Z with you later.
And you hear people say that all the time about, I'm just exhausted, I'm just doing too much. And so you have to learn how to say no.
You do. And people feel guilty, and they say yes when they mean no.
And you know what guilt does? Keeps you helpless, hopeless, and stuck.
Yep.
It really does.
Right.
because you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing, or you're overwhelmed. And I mean, I don't want to. Let's move on.
Here's a little trick about guilt, is that it gives people permission to keep doing what they're doing. So they act like they
to
feel
stay in
bad.
their comfort zone.
Comfort zone is one of the biggies. Yeah, that's another one of my 16 and the top 16 solutions is get out of your comfort zone. Take a step doing something that you're not so comfortable with doing that's good for you. Okay, that may mean setting the alarm clock 30 minutes earlier instead of, waking up at your normal 7
you're
o'clock.
pushing it. No, just kidding.
Should we take a caller?
Yeah, and you know what? I'll put on these headphones. And hello, guys. You're on the air with Mike, Dilyse, and Cary. Hello.
Hey, Cary.
Hello there.
How are you? It's Bob.
Hey, Bob. How are you?
I'm good today. I'm good.
Very cool.
Hey, Dilyse was talking about not being afraid to give your heart away and giving yourself away. There's also a little more to it. And, I personally feel that, spending more personal time, more time by yourself, but at the same time, don't be afraid to invest yourself in other people's interests. You might find something that you care about that you hadn't had yourself open to.
I'm going to leave this. I'm going to leave this with you and Dilyse.
Hi, Bob.
Hey, Dilyse. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for calling in. I absolutely agree with you. Investing in others. There was a woman, as I was walking into the radio show today, that was outside, and what I saw her doing, I just thought how appropriate. She was serving. She was actually putting her actions into place where she was giving a homeless man food, and he was just screeching with joy because I heard her say, "And I got you some chocolate chip cookies too, your favorite." And he was just screeching. So I see people like that, and I hear what you're saying as well. Investing in others is really the key. It's all about service, in my opinion anyway, and it sounds like yours as well.
No, absolutely. And I'll tell you, the more we give and the more we're there for other people, the better we feel about ourselves.
Right.
But no, I hate the word but because it erases everything before it. Also, though, we also need to learn how to take care of ourselves.
Yes.
Super important, but being there for others is just as important.
Well, that's why solution number one was what Bob on the phone said. It's be love in order to get love. So give your heart away and serve others. And the second one is also take care of yourself. So really, if you have a balance between those two things, life will absolutely 100% be better.
Very good. Hey, Bob, thanks for calling in. We sure appreciate it. We always love what you do.
I appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Bob.
So, Dilyse, we can do that. Dilyse, number 3. Let's go to another one. Let's go to another one. I don't want you to give them all away because I want people to go on your website and do it every day so they can really get into it. But you want to share any more?
Sure, I'll share another one.
Well, you can share all if you'd like.
The daily disciplines, either what habits you do today, those habits are going to create your outcome tomorrow. So one of them is take 100% responsibility for your life and your actions and change those disciplines so that they work for you. So basically, if you're saying, I want to lose 15 pounds and you get up today and you're not mindful of exactly what those behaviors look like, if you haven't planned out your day, because that's another one, is plan out your day in advance, the night before, what you're going to eat, what you're going to do to work out, then the day starts, and what happens is that it's like the tail wagging the dog if you don't intentionally have a plan set out the night before. That's something I personally am working on, is planning my day, the entire day the night before. In fact, I'm working on planning my week, the week before. Okay, so that's
you're ahead of me by far. but no, I mean, think about that. We come up with goals, and the goal is I want to lose weight, or I want to, whatever the deal is, I want to stop drinking, or whatever the deal is. If you don't have a plan and a way to get to that goal, usually you're going to fail.
Right. If you don't have a roadmap, then, it's like if you want to go west and you're going east, you're certainly, maybe eventually you go around the entire globe and you'll get to where you want to go. But you took the long road.
Right.
Rather than getting the tools, getting the help, getting the education, that you need to actually change your life. you need to do it. We talk about it, but it's about putting another one. You were asking another solution is putting things into action. And
we have another request to give out the telephone number so you can call in. It's 661-298-5487.
You know, we have another caller, Alyssa, and she has a question for Dilyse. So, Alyssa, you're on the air.
Looks like Alicia.
Alicia, I'm sorry.
Alicia.
Hi, guys. How are you doing?
Hello
Hi,
there.
Alicia.
Called in to get some free therapy here, did you?
Me too.
Well, go for it.
I have a question. So I think probably most of the families that are listening have children, and you're talking about taking responsibility, for your own mood, your own attitude. How do we help our children to apply that? Because I know we all have kids. It's like, oh, she did this, and that's why I did this, and they did that, and that's why I responded this way, and you end up with this little ball of anger traveling in little packs through your house. So how do we help our kids to, take ownership of their own mood and correct their behavior instead of always worrying about what everybody else is doing that's making them act that way?
Well, that's a great question. That's a loaded question. I can spend a whole day unpacking that. But let's start with one thing. If something's going on with your child and they're acting out, stomping around the house, there's something going on inside of them that they're not knowing how to manage well. So again, it's taking them, I think, away from their environment and going to spend some time and gently, not going in and saying, hey, what's going on? You have such an attitude, because that's what, we as parents get really reactive when our children are upset or they're stomping around. But if we can, like I said earlier, not take it personally and actually take them out and say, I notice that something's going on for you, and I want to support you, and I love you, and you matter to me. And when you stomp around the house and when you get snappy, that tells me that there is something going on in your heart that I really want to know about, because I don't want to watch you struggle. And just that care alone, and like I said, after that, listen. And they may not share, and you know what I say? Then do something different. Do something creative where it's not direct contact, direct communication, but sit down and spend time with them. Take them out and just talk about how they matter and how much you love them. Play a board game with them. Do something different where, like Cary was saying earlier, go to yogurt. Do something where it's not so direct, but really just making them matter and saying out loud, you matter to me. I notice these behaviors. You don't have to hide that you see them upset. You don't have to allow them. You can also set boundaries saying it's okay to be mad and just tell me that you're mad, but it's not okay to, break things or slam doors or hit your sister.
And also remember that we are role models for our children too. How we react is what they learn.
That's one of the things as she was asking the question, I was thinking the very first thing is, well, how are we doing as parents and as the example? Are we saying, hey, I'm really upset, so I'm going to go calm down, as an example of what to do? Or are we just saying, are we getting mad and then yelling and screaming and then expecting them not to? So it's something to think about.
Right. In fact, even in my house, we have what we call a timeout. If we disagree, we take a timeout for 5 minutes.
Right.
And then come back together.
Well, it teaches respect.
And then they come back together and they do it Cary's way.
No, not in my house. It's Courtney's way.
Oh, I see.
But we won't talk about that.
That's funny.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, just the key thing, Alicia, is to really let them know that you notice something's going on, because that validates that they exist. They're not invisible, okay? And the other thing is to just tell them that how much you love them and that you want to help them come up with solutions. And then, you know what? Get the help that you need. If you notice, this is what I notice with families, they have these issues going on for years. And they wait till it gets to a critical point or a crisis before they actually reach out and get some help or do something different. And I say, if you start seeing some acting out behavior, do what you're doing, Alicia, which is ask, reach out and get some different tools and skills. Get involved in a group with your kids and do something where they know they matter. The younger the better, and the quicker the better. Yeah. When kids start acting out, you got to deal with it quick, because I'll tell you what, people come to our groups and their kids are in huge trouble. Right. And sometimes, I'm trying to figure out, how did it get so bad? Right.
because we let things go.
Right. The answer is standing right in front of you because the family is just not communicating.
Exactly.
One of the best groups that I run is my teen group. I have a young teen group. It's more like a preteen group. And we talk about peer pressure, social skills, how to react to bullying, how to not feel, the girls especially feel really stupid if somebody made fun of, what they were wearing. It wasn't the coolest, hippest thing. And kids don't know. I mean, my gosh, it's so big to these tweens, these, 12, 13-year-old girls.
It's the end of the world, isn't it?
It is. But if we as parents, if we invalidate them when they come home and they're stomping around and we don't know that's a message, it's a message loudly and clearly to us that they're having a hard time. So hope that's helpful, and thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day. Thanks for listening.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Good questions.
Excellent. Yes.
Good.
Keep them coming. I love it.
I know. So where are we? What hit us with another one.
Let's see.
I like these goals.
Well, I'm going to throw this back on you. What is something that you're going to do differently this year, Cary?
I don't know that I'm going to do anything different, but I'm going to stay consistent.
Oh, well, that's good. That could be on your list, is to stay consistent.
And that really is. I'm going to, I've been working out for a year. Mm-hmm. I'm going to stay consistent with that. I've been spending a lot more quality time with my children. I'm going to stay consistent with that. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to show up for life more.
Beautiful.
I think, and I think what's really different for me this year is I'm in tune with that stuff. I'm in touch with that.
There you go. That's on your list, is to stay in tune with those things that matter.
And even to be a little more vulnerable when I need to be.
Well, that goes on that list for sure.
It's on the list.
Very good.
But those are really the three things that I really need to deal with, and I don't want to overwhelm myself, so I'm keeping it simple.
Right.
So those things are big. How about you, Mike?
A lot of the same thing that you were talking about, just consistency and fine tuning. I also have some health issues, so I need to fine tune around that.
Hiccups.
That's right.
You got hiccups.
I have hiccups.
You got hiccups.
So the more specific you can be on your list, the better. So when you guys, you say, fine tune my health, well, that's great in general. So then just speak specifically on your list about, this looks like X amount of times per week, and my goal is to get that done by the end of the year. You can say you've moved to that place. We want to do something that challenges us outside of our comfort zone. So by the end of the year, we can say, wow, it took me all year and I did it. One of mine last year was to declutter some things, and I had an email box that was 12,000 emails full of new,
I saw that on your Facebook, by the way. When you finished, I was like,
12,000
unopened, right? And so I thought, okay, that's kind of ridiculous.
And there were at least 5 of them that were offering you a lot of money.
Yeah, right.
That's why she never emailed me back. I couldn't figure it out. I took it personal.
Guess how long it took me to do?
Probably a year.
It took me all year long. But you know what I did? Because I posted the list. Last year it was 15 and 15. I posted the list and I reread it at the beginning of December, and I was like, I didn't do that one yet. And so I literally hopped on it, got it down to a 0 inbox.
That's pretty impressive. Yeah. And the other thing we don't want you to do is come up with, I'm going to say resolutions because that's what you all say. We don't want you to come up with resolutions. We want you to come up with goals. And we don't want you to come up with goals that aren't achievable.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Well, I do want people to stretch themselves. I do want it to be
but achievable.
Manifesting what you want, which is putting out there into, the universe what we want and making it happen. Right. Our mind is a goal-seeking organism. So really, whatever we say we're going to do, whatever we put out there, then we'll move towards it. So another goal, would you like to hear another top proven solution?
I was hoping for it, actually.
Get an accountability partner for your life.
Oh, that hurts.
Explain that a little more, please.
Well, I have an awesome accountability partner as I'm a Jack Canfield trainer to train the trainers. So I got a person that I work with one-on-one. We share our action plans. We have at least 5 action steps every single day that we put into our life 7 days a week. And we, in the morning, text each other right when we get up. Here's what our plan is for today. And we check in at the end of the day and how to go. It takes 5 minutes, but it's somebody else that holds us accountable to what we say we want. Because like I said about people who set, resolutions, day 6 of week 1, they're done. So what we can do is actually have somebody else to tell them, here's what our goals are. Here's what matters to us. And I want you to hold me accountable that, today I didn't eat sugar. And, they're going to ask me at the end of the day or at the beginning of the next day, how'd you do on that?
Right.
So
you're helping, you're keeping each other accountable for your actions.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, think about it.
Right.
The actions, you have to think of, well, what am I going to be intentional about today? And then you have somebody else cracking a whip.
Exactly.
Saying, did you do it?
That's kind of exactly what we do in our parent-teen support groups. We come up with a stand, which is a long-term goal. And then every week, little goals to get to that. And then at the beginning of the next week, we check in. Did you meet your goal? Did you do what you were supposed to do? So we're holding each other accountable.
So this is a way that somebody can use this in recovery.
In any way.
Yeah.
In recovery, in the gym, in a diet, in anything that you're doing.
Absolutely. It's the action steps every day that matter. And
that's right.
On that note, everything we do, every action we take, think about this, because people say, oh, it won't matter if I don't do it today. Well, every action we take either gets us closer to the life we want,
right,
or get this, it takes us further away from it. So nothing is neutral, nothing is static, nothing just stays the same in the universe. And, you think about energetic stuff, nothing stays just flat.
Right.
It's either going towards the life you want or away from it. So it's really important.
So I really blew it this morning then.
What'd you do, Cary? It's time, and that's another one.
I went to breakfast with Janine from the city, and we went to International House of Pancakes. And I want to stay level with my weight right now. I feel pretty good.
Yeah, that's not the way to do it.
The Swedish crepes did not help. They brought me a little further from my goal, didn't they? I know.
Right?
I knew it when I was doing it.
Right. Because what happens? Think about this: when you eat poorly, you feel more fatigued. So then what do? You blow off the gym, and then when you blow off the gym, then you feel guilty, and then you go home, and then you snack on more stuff, and then you crawl into your bed and you watch TV, and that's way further away from what you want.
Are you messing with me now?
Hey,
I will not
tell the
blow
truth.
off my gym today.
All right.
I will not.
I hope not.
No, 5 o'clock. But you see, that's one thing that you're saying. I know I have little goals that I want to get to, and one way I do it, I go to the gym 3 to 5 times a week. Period. End of subject. No matter what. Even if I'm sick.
Dilyse is going to hit me again for saying this, but you know what? I think the crepe thing was fine because once what did I tell you?
That's why I work out so hard, right? So I could add a little stuff like that.
Once in a while, you got to treat yourself, and that's not going to hurt you. You'll
balance,
be okay.
Mike. Balance.
So take that, Dilyse.
Right. Yes, exactly.
No, but absolutely. But I absolutely agree with what she said and what you said. You got to cheat a little bit. But when I did it, I knew I was getting a little further from my goal.
That's right. Nothing extreme lasts. When you put things out there, nothing extreme, you've got to have a balance in your life.
Of course.
You just have to be willing. Like I said, an accountability partner will help you get what you want.
What, Mike?
Do you know what time it is?
I have no clue.
I
can look at my watch. I know exactly it's 12:49.
And time to take a break.
There you go. This is Families in Action on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. Welcome back to Families in Action on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. I'm Cary Quashen, your host, with my co-host, Michael Doherty. And we have one of our favorite guests, one of our favorite experts, Dilyse Diaz. And by the way...
Oh, go ahead.
Go on. No,
I was just going to say, she's a success coach, a transformational teacher.
A hope strategist. I had to say that. I wanted to hear it from you.
She's made up 65 names while she's been here.
I know. We're waiting for 66.
And for those of you out there who are listening, if you want to catch up to Dilyse, you can do this. Go to her website, Dilyse.com. Let me spell Dilyse for you. DILYSE.
And you got it.
.com.
That's right.
DailyDilyse.com. And then you can catch up to the courses and all the other fun stuff.
But you know what, Mike? Dilyse is doing a whole lot of stuff, and her course is ready to start. Tell us some of the stuff you're doing and how people can get involved.
Well, I have a daily private practice, so I work one-on-one with people, but I'm also developing an online course because, of course, working with people one-on-one, you can't get to thousands of people. Right. So the online course is coming up in March. They can get in contact with me at dailydilyse.com, get lots of free stuff, free informational, instructional videos right now, and give me their emails so that when the course is ready in March to launch, they can certainly be a part of that 90 ways in 90 days to find happy and really really, it's going to be an absolute
90 ways in 90 days to find happy. How cool.
Yes. And if you're doing really well now, people say, well, I'm pretty happy right now. Good. Well, then take it and take your life to the next level.
Right.
It's hands-on tools where I really do walk you through every single day of 90 days to get you doing things differently. Because like we talked about, it takes 90 days to create a new habit, doing something over and over again. So really it's a system, a step-by-step system that I'm going to teach you and I'm going to help you with. And being a licensed psychotherapist for the last 16 years, I'm quite qualified to be able to give some really neat new ideas out there.
And you really are our to-go person when we have people that are in trouble or
Thank you.
and stuff. I mean, we refer them to you. So I highly suggest you get involved in this, especially this course she's going to be doing.
And I was just going to say, taking an online course is a great thing because you can take it at your own pace.
That's right.
And you can take it at home or on the go.
As long as you do it every day.
Yeah, exactly.
Daily Dilyse, yes. So I'm really happy to be here today, and I'm really glad that we had the callers call in.
Oh, yeah.
And so you wanted me to give out my phone number?
Please.
661-904-0113. You can call me directly. I have a private practice in Valencia, and I love what I do.
One more time.
Sure, 661-904-0113. And I'm happy to help. And sometimes people, I can't do one-on-one work with them, and I'll guide them to the right resources like I do to Cary and to whatever they need. I'm here to help. That is my purpose and my mission, why I'm on this earth, really, is to serve and to help people live their best life.
And we appreciate it, don't we?
No, we do, and that's why we believe in what you do so much. And somebody asked me the other day, how have you been doing what you've been doing for 30 years? And my answer is, how do I not?
Right.
And the same thing with you. You're doing it because it's your life passion, and you truly care about the people you work with and the people in our community here in Santa Clarita.
I do. I have a big heart for that. So thank you so much for having me. It's been fun.
It has.
Good.
Until next time. Hey, Mike, guess what?
It's time to close.
I'll let you handle that.
We're going to be back here, same station, same time next week. In the meantime, you're listening to Families in Action right here on KHTS AM 1220, your hometown station. We'll see you next time.